Moving on, it's been 19 days since the war between Israel and Hamas started, but there seems to be no signs of de-escalation. Palestinian top diplomat deplores inaction by the UN Security Council to stop bombings in Gaza. One of the two Israeli hostages were also released from Hamas's custody, described being kidnapped not less than going through a hell as well. Israeli Foreign Minister on Tuesday said that he will not meet with the United Nations Secretary after the UN chief criticized Israel's bombing on Gaza. Israel also accused Hamas of planning a second attack like 7/10 in West Bank from a mosque which was struck by Israel. French President Emmanuel Macron, speaking after meeting Israel's Prime Minister on Tuesday, stressed on Israel's right to defend itself in its war with Hamas. He also said that the fight must be without mercy but not without rules, because democracies respect the rules of war.
There is a battle here between the axis of evil led by Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, and there's the axis of the free world and the moderates who want to bring the world to the progress and prosperity of the 21st century. This is the battle. It's engaged now. The test for the West and for civilization is Hamas. If Hamas emerges victorious, we will all lose. Europe will be endangered. Everyone will be endangered. Civilization will be endangered. So if Hamas wins, if Hamas loses and is defeated, then the forces of civilization win. That is why this battle is not merely our own. It's Europe's battle. It's America's battle. It's civilization's battle. It's the battle for the heart and soul and the future of the Middle East and the Arab world.
I want to thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, not just for your time, but because I'm lucid about the fact that this fight against terrorism is obviously a matter of existence for Israel, but it's a matter of existence for all of us. This is why we discussed together, and I just reminded this issue, but I consider that this is an international coalition in order to fight against these terrorist groups that we have to build. I just reminded my people in my language what we discussed about fight against terrorism, humanitarian action, rules to be respected, but as well political process. And obviously I warned against any escalation, and I want Hezbollah and some other regimes not to be part of what's happening.
I have been listening to some of the Hamas leaders. They are coming in media and making statements, and perhaps the sense that they want to give out is that that they are ready to return the hostages for a ceasefire. Do you really see Israel arriving at this decision if tomorrow, perhaps through some interlocutor, this proposal comes to Israel?
There is not going to be any ceasefire till the moment that Hamas will cease to exist. This is something that we are very, very firm about that, and this is something that Israel, the Israeli government and the Israel Republic will not receive nicely or at all. We are in a fight against Hamas that was slaughtering our citizens a few weeks ago, and for us, if they want to return our citizens in order to receive, I don't know, perhaps some kind of legitimacy, or perhaps to show some human face in this atrocity, okay, by all means, but we don't buy that. We don't think that they can clean their conscience by releasing the hostages and the kidnapped people that they kidnap. I remind you, there are dozens of children right now being held hostage in the Gaza Strip. Children, 4 years old, 6 years old, some of them are orphans by those terrorists. So we are not buying their actions as a positive act. We see them only as something that is trying to play the world perception in that sense, in order to perhaps that people will look at Hamas as not as a terror organization, but we all remember that Hamas is worse than ISIS, and this is what we are focusing on.